I want to make another note, video note here because this is another thing that's going to be um, important into my discussions of antinatalism in the future. Um, there's a writer named Marcel Proust who wrote the book. I think his name is it's called Swanns or something. In Search of Lost, something like that. I have yet to read it because I want to use this as a source in a certain paper I'm going to write about and against antinatalism because I didn't do whatever with it. But I want to do this and I want to eventually read this book. But I've heard of this concept from Marcel Proust that was in this book. It's a novel, but it's a good concept that I think shows that I think it can be shown. It can be used to show that antinatalism is wrong. It's a wrong conclusion of life. And I'm also going to use Epicurus and all this other stuff to hopefully show this also. But Marcel Proust, he talks about he talks about the life of this person, he talks about the life of this person in this book, where he goes through all these. He has a bunch of pleasures in his life, and also has sufferings. And what he says towards the end of this book is that during his years of suffering, it was worth it, simply because he learned things. He learned things during this time, and he says that it was worth it because of the fact that he says that these years of suffering and deprivation were worth it because he learned things, and they were he cherishes those years because of the fact that they were helpful to him and they taught him things. And in his years of pleasure and happiness, he didn't learn anything. Now I want to think about the possibility of learning things when you're suffering. Probably because one big reason that we suffer is that we make mistakes. So when you make a mistake, you're probably going to suffer for it. You need to take your lumps. You need to do all these things. And I think that when you suffer because of your own mistakes, you're going to learn. You're going to learn from it. And I think that when you suffer, you also learn discipline. You learn to appreciate. You learn some essential Zen Buddhist things. And when I think about let's say let's say you did something wrong and you got put in prison for it. You learn to appreciate things because you need to appreciate things in the moment. You become one with things. Now, going back to this Nhat Hanh guy, this Thich Nhat Hanh guy, this Zen Buddhist that I've been reading, The Miracle of Mindfulness, which keeps coming back in my mind because it's so awesome. You need to read this book. And I think when you suffer, you learn to appreciate things. You learn to be one. I think that you do learn to be one with. You learn to understand what's going on. You learn to be mindful of what's going on, and you learn to appreciate things. But I think that's one good thing to note. That suffering and deprivation are not your biggest enemies.